better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored, lots of blood and gold. Always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel the force of party. And if you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you let scars rip. You be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So
I get it. You hate DC.
Washington elites,
deep state, den of vipers.
Life is tough, and politicians in DC have only made it tougher. We have the right to be angry. But there is another DC. The federal workers, civil servants who work every day to make life better. They make sure our food is safe to eat, that our Social Security checks come on time, that our workplace is safe, that big banks don't scam us, that we're not being discriminated against. And now these workers are under attack by the very politicians and unelected billionaires who make life worse. They want to eliminate services we are legally entitled to, so they can enrich themselves at our expense. That DC deserves scorn. Fight for the real DC that actually makes a difference. Call your representatives, go to a town hall, and demand Congress protect civil servants. Federal workers have our back. Now it's time for us to have theirs.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Voice of Reason podcast. We have a ridiculous episode lined up here for you. We've kind of, I guess, it's going to be a recurring segment now. Our Tuesday episodes are going to be known as Morons Are Governing America, or MAGA, which we think is much more appropriate.
I gotta make a thing for that, like a logo.
Right? We are also working on a third weekly episode with comedian James Russell that we're going to call the Derp State. So that should be good. I've decided to dedicate a lot more time to making content, so hopefully we'll be putting out a lot more videos. But I do have a request of all of you. If you're watching this video or if you come across it, you like what we have to say, please share this video on other platforms. We have to somehow break through the YouTube algorithm. And we just can't do it on our own. Yep. At the same time, we appreciate all of your support over the last year and a half. But we want to keep on going. We want to keep on growing. And again, we cannot do it without you. We don't do ads or anything like that on our live shows. So we depend solely on donations and anything that you guys are willing to contribute. So if you do want to help out and help the cause, we do have a GoFundMe link in the description of the video. And throughout the live, there's other ways you can participate as well. Now, getting into all this shit that's been happening this past week. Holy God, oh my God. All right, so Trump has enacted a wartime act from the 1700s to deport Venezuelan gang members. I put that in air quotes because some of the people they're deporting are not gang members. They're just Hispanic people.
You know what they used to call them to claim that they're gang members?
Tattoos. Yeah, right.
You know who's covered in hate tattoos? Our Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth.
Yep, Pete Hegseth, he has a bunch of... So the federal judge tells Trump, no, I don't think so, you're not going to do this, and Trump decides to do it anyway. So we're going to get into that. And Trump is now treading on very thin ice, apparently, when it comes to the Supreme Court. And it looks like he may have lost, hopefully, 2 out of the 5 of the Supreme Court justices. I'm thinking Amy Coney Barrett and Roberts may be pushing back because they don't like the fact that Trump is defying the court.
Now, and it's funny because I don't think they are upset about it because they care about the checks and balances and democracy. Mm-hmm. They are in themselves scumbacious assholes. But I think they're realizing that Trump, I guess they're the last to realize this, but he's not like loyal to them. Dictators don't go, we need a robust court system that'll make sure our laws are fair. He doesn't need them anymore. So I'll get into my theory about what this is going to lead to later.
Right. And then Tesla may be done. Elon Musk has destroyed the only thing that had value for Tesla, which was the brand, which we'll get into because Tesla's never
shit, by the way.
They're great. They're garbage. They just have a lot of tech. They're very innovative. But as far as quality, as quality goes, they're absolute shit. They're actually worse. They catch fire more often than the Ford Pinto. And that's been like a running joke for decades. That is a legitimate fact.
It is not hyperbole.
They are more dangerous than the Ford Pinto.
Like the Pinto blew up 5 times and they were like, we're banning you from making that car.
Right. And I just love
Donald
how
Trump was doing commercials for Tesla on the White House lawn.
right. And we just received word before the show that apparently now Donald Trump and his administration has deemed Tesla protesters as domestic terrorists.
Statement from Attorney General Pamela
What the
Bondi
fuck?
on violent attacks against Tesla property. Now, hold on. They are going to say that any protest against Tesla is or has the risk of being a violent protest. Just like all those Black Lives Matter protests where they were shooting up windows, even though it was people that were paid to do it from the right. Or, Kyle Rittenhouse driving around murdering people from other parts of the country. Point is, they're going to make laws or they're going to make claims that will destroy our free speech. They've already done it, and this is a big step to attack directly protesting. Yep. The swarm of violent attacks on Tesla property is nothing short of domestic terrorism. The Department of Justice has already charged several perpetrators with that in mind. They haven't, including in cases that involve charges with 5-year mandatory minimum sentences. They didn't, because we would have heard about it. We will continue investigations that impose severe consequences on those involved in these attacks, including those operating behind the scenes to coordinate and fund these crimes.
Oh
which
my
means,
God! Everything is a fucking conspiracy with these people.
Remember when the Supreme Court allowed Trump to now defund any organization, any charity? So now what's going to happen is any organization that might do fundraising to help with protests is going to be considered a fundraising domestic terrorist threat.
Yep.
Get it?
Yep. It gets worse too, because Trump is trying to now revoke pardons given out by Joe Biden, claiming that they were done via auto pen, which we'll get into. And he's also calling he called them MSNBC and CNN. He called them illegal. So Donald Trump is going after the First Amendment. So all you free speech assholes out there that are like, yeah, the First Amendment, blah, blah, blah. No, he's going directly after our free speech. He is shitting on the Constitution as we film this fucking episode. Donald Trump is a traitor to the United States, and he has no intention and never did on upholding his oath to the Constitution. I knew that the second I saw this dipshit not put his hand on the Bible. I knew that moment he had no intention.
He said it before he swore in this time that his oath meant nothing to him. Those words came out of his mouth, and everyone in MAGA was like, what he really means is, God bless us all.
Yeah, so we're going to get into a lot of stuff, and I've got tons of videos.
Press, that's the whole point. That's what it is, not reporting on what he's doing.
Right, so we have tons of videos, and between Donald Trump trying to reinstitute segregation, which we'll get into on another show. Don't get me fucking started on that one, man. Jesus Christ. And
I didn't send myself that one.
Yeah, revoking pardons given by Donald Trump. He's also, here's a picture of him playing golf.
Look at him. He's just so good at it.
He is. He apparently won another championship. This is like the Kim Jong-un doesn't poop thing. Like Donald Trump.
I forgot about that.
Dude, he's 80-something years old, and he is trying to convince the world that he wins like every one of his own tournaments, but he's never won any other tournament.
If a woman started a beauty pageant and won it, everyone would be like, well, of course you won your own beauty pageant. But Donald Trump owns golf courses. He's garbage at golf. By the way, Jeremy put the effort in to show us. We're going to take a look at that. So he wins golf championships. No one actually believes him, but like, is he delusional enough to think he won them? That's what I need to know. That's what keeps me up at night.
Yeah, because
that's my Trump derangement syndrome.
I think the people around him are intentionally glazing him when he's golfing, because the video I have put together,
they're doing something more than glazing him.
I know. Yeah. Well, here's the post. I just won the golf championship. Probably my last at Trump International Golf Club in Palm Beach County, Florida. Such a great honor that I gave myself. The awards dinner is tonight at the club. I want to thank the wonderful golf staff and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so Trump won another golf tournament at his own club. And I love how none of these are ever televised. Like, has anybody ever seen Donald Trump on video winning a golf tournament?
we have a lot of footage of Donald Trump barely being able to play golf at all.
Right. So here, first video I made or found, actually Mike pointed this one out. This is a fake hole-in-one, possibly they're pretending Donald Trump made a hole in one, and just listen to the people around him like, oh, so good, Mr. Like SEALs. Good job, Mr. President.
You can barely get it.
Yeah, watch him try and pick it up. Watch him try and pick it up.
Guys want a picture with you?
Guys want a picture with you?
You don't see that very often.
I want to know who these guys are.
Unbelievable.
Actually, I think, Jeremy, we know who these guys are.
These are like the most. It sounds so unenthusiastic. Oh, good
You know
job,
who those
sir.
guys are? Those are the guys that he's talking about in another video we're going to show who are going to benefit from our crashing economy. That's who those guys are.
Yeah, because I'm working on a video where I'm researching a video on how I think private equity firms are gonna end up causing another housing or another collapse like back in '08. But we'll get into that on another show. But I put together a collage or a montage, I guess, not a picture, it's a video montage, of Donald Trump playing golf. And I just I'm not a golfer, but this does not look like a championship golfer to me.
Look,
let me just play the video.
I used to play a lot of golf back in the day when I was young and had money to waste. I'm not great. I'm not even good, but I understand you have to swing in a certain way. There's certain mechanics that Donald Trump just doesn't have.
Right. And I'm not saying he's an awful golfer, but I'm guessing he's probably
better than me.
I'm guessing he probably shoots in the 80s. I mean, somebody that plays golf as much as him, and of course he's in his 80s. You know, he probably is okay at golf, but I don't think he's a championship winner. But just here's the montage I made of how Donald Trump sucks at golf.
Go, short.
Literally the worst putt I've ever seen.
Guy, there wasn't even a curve there.
Could happen. Go.
No.
It could happen, he
didn't
said.
break that hard.
He's like 3 feet.
Break. Oh, it didn't break. That's all right.
That's all right.
Go.
That's all right.
Going.
It's okay, sir. It's okay, sir.
Go.
It's okay, we'll put it in there for you.
Oh, it's so close, sir. You're such a great man. Oh, God, sir. Yes,
my
sir.
favorite. Here's my favorite. Watch this masterful shot. This is just something to behold. Here we go. Come on.
Come on. It's not that they're bad.
And one more time.
Nice.
One more time.
Do it. Come on.
I'm going to take a couple action shots.
Come on. Oh.
There you go. He didn't
Like to reiterate.
He shanked it.
Statistically speaking, he should have got one. But no, Trump
how about
is
this?
not that good.
To your point, the guy gets enough practice. He's up to, I think, 16 days playing golf in like 58 days. So he's at like 28% of his presidency so far, which is on track to beat, at least meet, but probably beat his first term when he golfed for one entire year out of 4 years of his term.
Yeah, which he's on track to do again.
That's public record.
That is, that is public record. But I think
that's it.
It's pathetic.
Whenever he missed beforehand, it was Obama. Now it's Joe Biden.
Right? So that's what Donald Trump has been spending his time doing, on top of deporting people that are not gang members and saying that Joe Biden's pardons. This guy's disgusting. Like he's pulling security. He heard that Hunter Biden was in South Africa and had Secret Service protection. Heard it from a reporter. He's like, oh, really? Oh, yeah. In South Africa, you say? Well, that's not good. And then, like, literally later that day, he pulls Hunter Biden's Secret Service protection. Like, it's how petty this guy is. But this guy is going so far as to... Now, I like to just point out, this is something that the Heritage Foundation went to him and told him this.
Yeah.
And they knew. They knew he was going to run with it. And what does he do? He first says it on the plane, then he says it in a post, and this is the post. The pardons that Sleepy Joe Biden gave the unselect committee of political thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no other further use or effect because of the fact that they were done by autopen. For those of you who don't know, presidents sign a lot of stuff. And per the Supreme Court, an autopen, which I don't even know what it is, to be honest with you, I should probably look this up. An autopen is allowed to be used on, to sign the president's name on the massive amount of I'm sure Donald Trump has a massive amount of papers that are signed via autopen.
That old tart, that old fat slob with no attention span and Adderall riddled brain has physically signed 1,500 executive orders himself. And even better, I forgot which journalist actually looked this up. Almost all of Ronald Reagan's things that he signed were from AutoPen. So this has been going on for 40, almost 50 years.
Yeah, and it's perfectly legal. It's been challenged all the way to the Supreme Court, and they found that
here's the thing.
Absolutely fine.
Even if it wasn't, his decree does not make things so.
Right.
What people are starting to maybe realize, but I don't think enough people are, he's using executive orders in a way that I have always thought he views the presidency. The reason he always hated Obama and the reason most people hate the president is because they think the president runs the country. They think the president makes all the decisions. They think the president has unilateral power. Donald Trump believes that his executive actions are laws, like a king.
Yeah.
They're not.
Right. So he goes even further to post this. This dude is a demented man-child. So apparently, Joe Biden's AutoPen was president from 2021 to 2025.
Oh my God, this is genius. So he could declassify documents with his brain. AutoPen does not count.
Right.
If we had a prize, I know we have 45 minutes left. That's the comment of the evening, because that is so spot on. Someone else go ahead.
I was gonna say he also released the files that everybody wanted released, the JFK files, but not the Epstein files, but the JFK files. He's all over them.
So, look, someone just made a funny comment on Instagram. There's a documentary. And a PGA pro who manages a Trump golf course said he lies more about his golf scores than he does about the 2020 election.
That's what I was going to say. There's a book called Commander in Cheat, and it's about how Donald Trump cheats and everything, man. Especially golf. There's even a story that he cheated against Tiger Woods. I mean, come on. What else do we got to tell you? But I am
not a Tiger Woods fan for a myriad reasons, but it would be an honor for me to get my ass kicked by a professional golfer of Tiger Woods' caliber. I wouldn't even attempt to cheat. What the hell is the point? You're not going to cheat and edge out that one score, that one. Ooh, I just beat him.
Right, anybody's gonna believe that you beat Tiger Woods. Like, get out of here with this. But again, eventually it's gonna be, Donald Trump doesn't even poop. He doesn't have a butthole. That's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. But
look,
all right.
Wait. If you don't know, honestly, go look up. Does North Korea's dictator have a butthole? And
I'm serious. Well, you got it. It's insane. It is insane. But people live and die by Donald Trump's word. All right, so we're gonna talk about we're gonna switch topics a little bit and go into Elon Musk a little bit, and then we're gonna get back to Trump here later in the show. We want to switch it up a little bit because I am loving the fact that Elon Musk is losing his ass. I could not be happier. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna pretend like this doesn't, but like this bothers me.
To be honest, we hammer on Musk for a number of reasons. Number one, he's the current president of the United States, and we have a right so far, currently, or at least for now, to criticize the president of the United States. Two, he's a Nazi, so fuck him.
There's that.
That's all I got.
That's
it.
Just to show you why I originally started this venture, and this is mainly the reason here, is these are the billionaires' worths. The main ones that supported Trump. Okay, you can see the massive amount of money they've grown over a period of 10 years, while minimum wage in the United States is still nationally at $7.25 an hour. That meme right there should perfectly encompass what the problem is with this country.
I still stand by all of our elected representatives, not necessarily federal workers, but all elected representatives should be forced to only make minimum wage.
Why not?
That's it. They vote themselves raises, so maybe they keep raising the minimum wage.
Yeah, you want to serve the country, so yeah, there you go, serve it for free. I can't believe they get paid. Anyway, all right, so the Elon Musk is not happy, okay? So all the money that he made, because he made a shitload of money after the election, because everybody thought that this was going to be fantastic, and Elon Musk's companies were just going to take off. Well, that has all gone away. Every last bit of the money that he's made after December, or after the election, in November, until now, gone, and it is in total free fall. And I don't think there's anything he can do to save it.
I don't think there is. And the thing that's beautiful about this is it's not like there was a business decision or a failed product, and it's not just the US. The entire world is like, no, we don't want you. The whole planet. And again, what we like to do here is provide actual facts, not just make blatant comments. So let's take a little tour of what's going on. Tesla is done in Germany. 94% of Germans say they won't buy a Tesla car. Now, I do want to take one sidebar because there's something that Trump has said in posts. It might even be in one of the videos we're going to watch, where a lot of people think the only electric vehicles that exist are Tesla.
I know, right? There's
and
so
the
many
reason that is because Americans inherently are really dumb and don't know what goes on anywhere outside of the country. So they think just because Tesla's the biggest seller of EVs here, that's the only option here or the rest of the planet. It isn't. Like
no.
China makes EVs that are actually functional and do great, but the US doesn't.
And like half the cost.
So what else is going on with that? Well, Tesla is falling behind in the European EV market. Think about that. If there's a market, there's more than one provider, meaning Elon doesn't have a chokehold like he does in the US. While Elon Musk continues to make waves as a disruptive force tearing through US government agencies, his bread and butter business appears to be suffering. In response to Musk's prominent role in the Trump administration, people are protesting outside of Tesla showrooms, getting rid of their Tesla cars or simply not buying them in the first place. Many people no longer want to be associated with Tesla and its divisive CEO, leaving the brand, once a symbol of forward-thinking and progressive lifestyle, reeling. Let's take a look. Tesla is falling behind in the European EV market. Year-over-year change in quarterly registrations of Teslas and overall battery electric vehicles in Europe. 2023, Tesla's market share was 18.2%. 2024, 16.6%. January, 6.
Oops. Oopsie. Oh, did my salute hurt my stock prices?
Now it's getting closer to home because in attempting to erase Canadian sovereignty, which Trump is trying to do, 71% of Canadians support a Tesla ban, not just boycotting, like we don't want your shit product sold in our country. While 364,000 Canadians want Elon Musk's citizenship revoked. I would like to point out,
It's so good.
He's not an American citizen. Keep that in mind when he's traveling around with Trump to all across the world to all these meetings. He's an unelected illegal immigrant. Okay, but let's think about it. All right, the Tesla sales are down everywhere.
Yep.
People are boycotting them. What does that mean when we say the brand is damaged? Well, the only thing they understand is money. And when you tell them you could damage the brand, you can't say to them, people will be shy about your brand. They may think funny. They're going to go, you're losing money. So Tesla has lost almost $800 billion since December 17th.
That's amazing.
Just so you know how much that is.
Yeah.
You can see on your right how much that is. It's a fuck ton.
That's a lot.
Okay. And just to show you how ingrained and gross our whole system is, just go buy yourself some Tesla Cybertruck Hot Wheels for your kid, right?
Yeah. It'll probably catch fire. It'll explode in your kid's bedroom.
Look, it's pretty clear what's happening, okay? We're done with him.
Yeah. They should have set him up with the car.
Go away. No one wants you. You're a Nazi.
Yeah, we don't like you. And we don't need you in our country anymore. But more good news, though. The further Tesla free falls, this could also cause him to lose Twitter because he leveraged Tesla to buy Twitter, which is amazing. That would be just the icing on the cake. So this is not good in many ways.
His only profitable company right now is SpaceX. So guess what's next, people?
Yeah.
Notice which countries are buying contracts for Starlink. The U.S., Russia, China.
Yeah, and everybody's canceling Starlink contracts too. Canada, there was one country in South America where Elon Musk was dumb enough to retweet something, insinuating that the guy was involved with drug cartels. So the guy was like, all right, we're canceling $20 billion in contracts. Just like that from a retweet. Imagine losing $20 billion. because you retweeted something. That's how much of an idiot Elon Musk is. But again, the brand, the car itself sucks. Very cool idea. Lots of cool tech in it. Terribly made car. Overpriced, terribly made car. The only thing that it had was the brand value, okay? Because it was forward thinking. It was like the next step in vehicles. And people that want to save the environment or cared about the environment were the ones that that was his target audience for the most part. Okay, truck driving, knuckle dragging MAGAs are not out in the market, except for the dumbasses that go out and buy Cybertrucks. They're not in the market for an electric vehicle. And until Elon Musk even got involved in Donald Trump's campaign, Donald Trump hated electric vehicles, and now he's doing ads on the White House lawn for them.
Wait a minute, I gotta do it.
It's so pathetic. Yeah, everything's computer. That's right. Yeah, everything's computer.
He sat in a Tesla and went, everything's computer.
Everything's computer.
He's the type of guy that if you actually sat him down with an old school Nintendo and he was playing Mario, every time he would try and jump, he would do this.
Right? Yeah, exactly. All right, so let me play a video of Rachel Maddow. She's going over the protests, and then we'll get into Donald Trump even saying that he would declare people that protest Tesla domestic terrorists.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
You see the location here, the setting here? We're starting to see an upsurge in protests targeting Tesla dealerships at Tesla charging stations in the bitter cold up in Waterville, Maine. At a Tesla dealership showroom thing in Manhattan. Elon Musk is not my president. This is a coup. Take away the keys from Elon. Don't buy swastikars. This one in Ohio, in Columbus.
O-H-I-O! Elon Musk has got to go!
You could see the signs in Columbus as people turned out
Pretty clever.
to protest against Elon Musk and his role in the Trump administration. Delete Musk. This one, just the word Elon with a big F in front of it. Elon Musk's personal wealth has dropped $42 billion this month as shares of Tesla have started to fall off a cliff.
That's just this month.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, I think he holds the world record now twice for losing the most amount of wealth for a single person. Twice he's done this now.
Hey, that's why Donald Trump loves him. There's no one that loves a good bankruptcy like Donald Trump. And guess what? Tesla going bankrupt.
Yep. Like Midas Touch always says, everything Trump touches dies. My prediction is after Elon Musk serves his use and Donald Trump figures out he's more trouble than he's worth, he's going to kick him to the curb, Tesla's going to fold, and Donald Trump's not going to do anything to help him. That's my theory, because Donald Trump is loyal to nobody except for Putin. Except for Putin. That's literally the only person he's never spoke ill about. Yeah.
Like literally.
So,
literally.
Yeah, we can't find a single video of Donald Trump saying anything bad about Vladimir Putin. He has talked shit about literally everybody.
Think about this. There are posts, tweets, videos, interviews of every single person in Donald Trump's cabinet at one point within the last 10 years calling him a piece of shit, calling him a traitor, calling him a rapist, calling him all of those things, and they're all now serving in his cabinet, and you still cannot find one bad word in a sentence that's vague about Vladimir Putin.
Nope. And we watched the video today. We were going to play it, but it's in Russian with no subtitles. But apparently, Vladimir Putin was at an event while he was supposed to be on a phone call with Donald Trump. And then when they asked about it, he laughed and said, Donald Trump can wait. Just utterly humiliate him, because that's who's in charge. Donald Trump is not in charge. Donald Trump is not in charge.
Musk thinks he's in charge. Donald Trump just thinks he's a king. And meanwhile, Putin's like, wow, I didn't have to do as much as I thought I did.
Yeah. So Pam Bondi following in Donald Trump's footsteps here. This is the Donald Trump. We read you what Pam Bondi did, but here was Donald Trump originally saying while he was doing a Tesla ad on the White House lawn, which is just the saddest shit ever. So keep in mind, again, if you storm the Capitol, beat up cops, vandalize property, wipe shit on the walls, set up gallows to hang the vice president, that's patriotism, okay?
Very fine people.
Right, very fine people, according to, MAGA. But you protest against a Tesla, you're a domestic terrorist. Make it make sense, people.
to be labeled domestic terrorists?
I will
Because
do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. You know, I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies and other companies, but American companies. I did a very big favor for the NFL. I do favors. When you heard an American company,
I've been doing favors for all the what?
So many jobs that others are unable to do. When you do that, those people are going to go through a big problem when we catch them. And we have a lot of, we get a lot of cameras up. We already know who some of them are. We're going to catch them.
We're going to catch them.
So what he's saying is, if you protest Tesla as a brand, which is your only actual fight in protest, like it's either that or violence.
It's a fundamental right in America.
Here's the key. They're trying to stop us from protesting so they could make us go violent, and then they can go, look, violent insurrection.
Yep.
See? This isn't even that good at it. He's not even good at crafting it because we're all so dumb. We're just watching it happen, and it's like right there.
Yep. He is dying to use the military on
they're
us.
trying. Well, okay.
We'll get into it here in a second. Let me play this real quick, though. Yeah. Let me play it because this is the video that I think proves that Donald Trump's not in charge. Here he is babysitting for Elon Musk. And how this little shit gets the ride on the helicopter with the president pisses me off.
He spent more time with Elon Musk's spawn than he has any of his own children.
Elon's like, hey, can you watch my bullet shield for me for a bit?
I was going to say, is he borrowing the bullet shield? Is he like, yo, listen, you got to tell me where you got that bullet shield?
I had this realization today because people are saying that Elon's a good father for having his son around. This dude is getting massive amount of death threats. Death threats. If you're a good parent and you're getting death threats, the last thing you're going to fucking do is carry your kid on your shoulders in public, everywhere. That is insane. To me, that is literally the worst parenting I have ever seen in my fucking life. Sorry about all the cursing, but it just gets on my nerves.
Here's a great question from Instagram. If Elon Musk, I love that, is doing illegal work and is an illegal immigrant, how should the banks be dealt with where they keep their money? Is it money laundering? The answer is our entire financial system, including capitalism itself, is built for exactly this, for money laundering and pyramid scheme accumulation of wealth.
It is.
So the answer is yes, they should be put in prison. You know what they do in China? Now, I'm not advocating we adopt all of China's policies, but do you know what they do with politicians who are found to be corrupt and convicted? They execute them. Do you know what they do to bankers who are found to be corrupt and stolen money? They execute them. Again, that's not always the most fun topic for people. A lot of people are against it. But my point is, there are other parts of the world that are not the U.S. that take this shit seriously. We do not. We allow it to happen.
Yeah, not only do we allow it, people like the Trump administration emboldens it. They're deregulating the entire banking industry, pretty much everything, making it easier for people to commit fraud, money laundering, all that stuff. So, all right. So getting back to Trump, because we do want to talk about the enemy. What was it called? Alien enemy. Whatever act from 1700s.
Okay, so here we go.
Insane.
Again, this whole thing that they're doing called governing is illegal. Every single thing they do is illegal.
Every bit of it, man.
What they're doing is they're digging up old weird shit to try and confuse everyone because no one knows how to deal with something that was meant from 200 years ago. And it doesn't even apply because Donald Trump basically, quote, invoked the Alien Enemies Act. This detention and deportation power, which is an emergency power, poses an alarming risk of abuse and rights violations in both wartime and peacetime. Okay. What is the Alien Enemies Act? The Act of 1798 is a wartime authority that allows the president to detain or deport the natives and citizens of an enemy nation, period, full stop. We're not at war with Venezuela, are we? Okay, so that's where it should have ended. But in defying these laws, this is where Trump's next move is. So the law permits the president to target these immigrants without a hearing based only on their country of birth or citizenship. Although the law was enacted to prevent foreign espionage, Elon Musk, and sabotage in wartime, Elon Musk, it can be and has been wielded against immigrants who have done nothing wrong, have evidenced no sign of disloyalty, and are lawfully present in the United States. It is an overbroad authority that may violate constitutional rights in wartime and is subject to abuse in peacetime. For example, he has now deported 2 Chinese citizens who are here on educational visas because they protested what's happening in Palestine. So a foreign national is here on a visa giving money to the United States, and because they protested about another foreign country committing genocide in another foreign country, America is deporting them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's keep going.
Makes sense.
Because it gets fun. Under what conditions can the president invoke the Alien Enemies Act? Okay, let's get some more clarification. The president may invoke it in times of declared war or when a foreign government threatens or undertakes an invasion or predatory incursion against U.S. territory. The Constitution gives Congress, not the president, the power to declare war. So the president must wait for democratic debate and congressional vote to invoke the Alien Enemies Act based on a declared war. But the president need not wait for Congress to invoke the law based on a threatened or ongoing invasion or predatory incursion, which is what they're going to claim. The president has inherent authority to repel these kinds of sudden attacks, an authority that necessarily implies the discretion to decide when an invasion or predatory incursion is underway. In other words, if a bunch of planes from Venezuela showed up over our border one day, dropped off a bunch of soldiers, the president wouldn't have to wait for Congress to declare a war and then for him to declare the act. He can just go, I got to save us. Now, so again, it's all based on war.
Yeah.
How has the Alien Enemies Act been used in the past? I feel like history is repeating itself. Well, it has been invoked 3 times. Each time during a major conflict, the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. In World War I and II, the law was a key authority behind detentions, expulsions, and restrictions targeting German, Austro-Hungarian, Japanese, and Italian immigrants, all the axis of evil, by the way, based solely on their ancestry. The law is best known for its role in Japanese internment, a shameful part of U.S. history for which Congress, presidents, and the courts have apologized. Why? Because we went scary people that don't look like us. Let's put them in camps.
So just to recap, Donald Trump is taking people. They're not getting a lawyer. They're not being read their rights. They're being immediately deported without due process.
Because of the color of their skin.
Right. To El Salvador, which has the most brutal prisons on planet Earth. And keep in mind, there are people there currently that are not gang members and have never committed a crime. Donald Trump is sending innocent fucking people to the worst prisons on planet Earth. How is anybody okay with this? I don't even care. Like this is the crime against humanity to me.
Well, it's a good thing we just resigned ourselves from the World Human Rights Council.
Right. This is why. That's why, though, because he's doing shit like this. He wants to do shit like this.
And if you want to think about it in a different way, Trump isn't acting unilaterally. Trump isn't just doing this on his own. He's being supported. This is American Gestapo. Grave warnings as Trump gleefully defies court order on deportation. So this is where things are starting to change. Okay? Not a single president in the history of the United States has ever asserted the authority to unilaterally deport someone outside of the procedures set by Congress until now. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance wrote late Sunday that there were violent criminals and rapists in our country, and President Donald Trump deported them. There was no due process for more than 200 Venezuelans who the Trump administration claims are gang members. Vance's social media post, which came in response to reporting about the White House's acknowledgement that it ignored the court order blocking the deportations, was met with disgust and alarm. On Truth Social, Trump claimed without a shred of evidence that former President Joe Biden sent the deported Venezuelans into our country. Okay. Trump went on to thank El Salvador's far-right president, blah, blah, blah. So the whole point is he's just going to say Joe Biden was the one that just brought him here, so I'm just saving us from him. Yeah. I'm just saving us. Well, guess what? the Department of Justice is involved as well. So now we have the Vice President and the Department of Justice. Statement from the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, on federal judge blocking deportations. Tonight, a D.C. judge supported terrorists over the safety of Americans. This organization that they're claiming these people are from, which there is no proof of, is represented by the ACLU. This order disregards well-established authority regarding President Trump's power, and it puts the public and law enforcement at risk. The Department of Justice is undeterred in its efforts to work with the White House, the Department of Homeland Security, and all our partners to stop invasions, make America great again.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you missed it, Donald Trump defied the court order that was already put in place. They didn't go, you can't do that, you shouldn't have done that. They went, you are not allowed to do this. And he went, I'm doing it anyway. And the Department of Justice goes, well, the courts can't tell the president what to do. So in like third grade, they taught us how the country works, and our government has checks and balances. And one of those checks is the SCOTUS actually helps determine which laws are legal. And when they tell the president that it's illegal, it's illegal.
I find it, though, ironic that J.D. Vance talks about violent rapists from Venezuela when Donald Trump personally helped Andrew Tate enter the United States and get off house arrest in Romania, and invited Conor fucking McGregor to the White House for St. Patty's Day like he's a little leprechaun, a little rapey leprechaun running around the White House.
I'm not making light of this, but he's a raperecon.
He's a raperecon. And on top of this, the guy, I think he's from Minnesota, the Republican that wanted to introduce a bill or did introduce a bill stating that Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing, just got arrested for soliciting a 16-year-old teen girl for sex. Yes, that is the Republican Party. If they want to deport violent, clear out the White House. Clear out the White House.
You know what's
There's
funny?
more violent sexual offenders in the White House than there are trans athletes in all of college sports.
Maybe
I'm
on
sorry,
the planet.
going on a rant.
No, but what's interesting, I read this right before the show. The GOP from Minnesota has demanded that guy's resignation from the party. That's interesting.
Really?
Because of all the other rapists that they're like, you'll be all right.
I know.
Maybe they're
like,
starting to realize. But okay. Again, it's not just the vice president. It's not just the Department of Justice. This guy is Trump's border thug, who is a racist monster. This guy is a gleeful piece of shit when it comes to putting kids in cages. Okay? He was on Fox News, who, by the way, is turning on Trump. Breaking. In an unbelievable moment, border czar Tom Homan declares he is willing to defy judicial orders to actually break the law to carry out Trump's raids. I don't care what the judges think. You don't have to care what the judges think. You have to do what the judges fucking tell you.
Yeah, supposed to. Supposed to. I thought, anyway.
But now I'm going to get into my quick little theory.
Go ahead.
Donald Trump got what he wanted out of the SCOTUS. He let them tell the world that he cannot be in trouble for doing anything when he's in office. Okay? Well, guess what? We know he was putting his people in place so that he could get that ruling. Okay, that's what his first administration was about, packing the court so he could get immunity. Now that he has immunity, he doesn't need the court, much like he doesn't need Elon Musk. He doesn't need MAGA anymore. He doesn't even need the Republican Party anymore. So what's going to happen is Donald Trump now is going to continuously be defying court orders up until the point where all of these challenges go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is very likely not going to back Trump. In my opinion, they're going to say, no, you're an illegal criminal. And the only thing that is left in Donald Trump's playbook, if the courts don't fall under his rule, is he gets Michael Flynn, right? And puts him in charge of everything for a military coup. Because that's it. Once you don't need courts if you're a dictator. The courts are the only thing that keep a dictator from becoming a dictator. Okay? So, but Justice Roberts is starting to maybe get a little grumpy.
Surprise.
So for more than 2 centuries, these are the words of Chief Justice Roberts. It has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision. The normal appellate review process exists for that purpose. Why is that an important statement? Because once the court said you can't do that, Donald Trump himself and his attorney general and all these people have said publicly on television in statements, we're going to impeach those judges that rule against Donald Trump. Well, if a judge rules against Donald Trump, it's because it's against the law. You don't then make them your political enemies and use your Department of Justice like they claim Biden did, and then literally go attack judges.
It's not how it works. Not how it works. So, so that's Donald Trump and the entire court situation, which we actually talked about. So we kind of called this because let's be honest, under Biden, the Supreme Court had way too much power, and they abused the shit out of it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And now they're losing that power that they just enjoyed for the last 4 or 8 years or however long. So I think, being a Supreme Court justice, I mean, it's a big deal. It's a high honor, and I don't think they're taking it lightly that Donald Trump is just pissing all over procedures that they're supposed to enforce, even though they've had his back this entire time. But I've seen some pictures and videos of Amy Coney Barrett looking pretty damn disgusted anytime Trump is around. And then you got Chief Justice Roberts, hopefully backing the Constitution and not Donald Trump. We'll see. We've had hope for these things before, and they've fallen completely apart. But all right, so that's enough about that. Let's get into some of the dumb shit that Donald Trump's been doing the last couple of days. I have a clip from his speech that he gave literally an hour before we got on this podcast. I have him talking about what I think is an intentional stock market crash, but I'll look more into that. And then he visits the Kennedy Center and does this weird Kim Jong-un style photo op. But first, we have something we should probably panic about. But honestly, I don't think so, because this channel is never going to get any traction. But we now have American state media, folks. If you think I'm fucking playing, let me show you the video that just came out. Sorry, Mike. What in the actual fuck you do?
Like, you don't have state media, because then you don't have free press, and then you don't have checks and balances.
Right. So he's calling CNN and NBC illegal, and then they're coming out with Voice of America, which is regime state media.
That sounds very familiar. Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Because the original propagandist media scumbag actually did the same thing by creating media from the state, basically German media, but for the people. It's the same thing, the same playbook, people. It's like...
It really is. It really is.
Badly obvious at this point. It's always been obvious, but like, what don't you see? Please, explain to me what up to now, all right, March 18th, 2025. How are you not convinced that you fucked up and voted for a domestic terrorist, traitor, treasonous Nazi? How do you not see that? Oh, wait, that's right. We have Trump derangement syndrome. My bad.
Yeah, we have it. I would like to think that people that support Trump are the ones with Trump derangement syndrome.
So Jengen Marley 88 on Instagram said TDS is a disease that MAGA suffers from derangement, bleeding everything Dumphy tells them. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Exactly. That's exactly right. So, all right. So I made a clip. Donald Trump talking about they're asking, because people are asking him about the crash. What's going on with the economy? And Donald Trump went from promising that he's going to fix things immediately. Like, he promised this on the campaign trail multiple times. I'm going to bring prices down immediately. Now he's begging Denmark for eggs. Yes, you heard that right. He's been threatening Greenland and threatening Denmark to take over Greenland. And now the Trump administration is asking Denmark for eggs.
Yo, man,
you can't make this up. Yeah.
You got any of those great A's?
We're taking this country from you. Side note, though, could we borrow some eggs, please? It's so insane. But the whole stock market crash, Donald Trump he won't take credit for it. Own it, man. It's your fault. And they keep trying to feed us the gaslight is, oh, you inherited such a mess from Joe Biden. Really? No, you didn't.
Really?
Bro, if you would have played golf 100% of the time and did nothing, implemented no tariffs, none of these stupid, dumbass policies,
You'd have the
could have
greatest
taken,
economy this country ever saw.
dude. We were the envy of the world 3 months ago. Our economy post-COVID was the envy
Well, think about it.
of the world
Because of his handling of COVID, Biden somehow helped us get it back, and then Trump went, "No, it was better before that."
Unbelievable.
Oh, thank you,
Jesus, Jeanette, thank you so much. You guys are so supportive. I love it. It keeps us going. But here's a video I made. He has no idea what he's talking about. But
they're not eggs. They're chickens.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we can't. That
was a good one, man.
We don't want aborted chicken fetuses.
You see it doesn't concern me. I think some people are going to make great deals by buying stocks and bonds.
Are they now?
I think we're going to have an economy that's a real.
You heard that right.
Fake economy. It's a fake economy. Go ahead.
A fake economy.
From the Biden economy, is this your economy now?
Certain things are. Certainly tariffs are, which we've already taken in billions.
Oh wait, so he just admitted he owns.
We've taken in already billions of dollars, and we haven't even really started the program, other than certain areas, certain pinpointed areas, as you know. Many billions of dollars have already come into our country.
We've got the Atlantic Federal Reserve saying we're going to have a contraction in the first quarter. Look, I know that you inherited a mess, and you said that the other night. But are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very good. We're bringing wealth back to America.
So just fix everything on day one?
Right. Just to recap, he said some people are going to make some great deals by buying stocks during this crash. He did say that in that video, which is one of the reasons I think this is intentional. And the other thing he said that I can't seem to remember off the top of my head now. What the hell was it? Oh my God, now I can't remember what the other point I wanted to make. Oh, I hate when that happens. It was so good too. I know, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, the stock market crash, it's all him, but he doesn't want to take credit for it, okay? Everything was going perfectly fine, and then he took office, and the stock market craves certainty, stability, and he is anything but that. Tariff 1 minute.
Wild card chaos agent.
Yeah, 200% tariffs on champagne. Now he wants champagne made in America. Hate to break it to you, but just like coffee, champagne is never made in America. I love how MAGA was like, when they're like, the banned coffee beans, they're like, I'm just going to buy my beans from Italy. Like, where do you think they get them from, you dipshits? It's all.
No, but you know what? It's funny how, man, it always goes back to this. It is.
Yeah.
We are so embarrassingly ignorant. Not just stupid, but ignorant of how anything goes on, how anything functions. These people that call themselves anti-globalists, they think that there's this world cabal trying to run everything.
Right.
Yeah, those are called fascists, and the democracies try and fight the fascists. And while that's happening, we create trade with each other. Like, that's how things work.
I remember the other point.
You can't just make everything yourself. We can't grow coffee here.
I know. I finally remember the other point I wanted to make. He says they've brought in billions of dollars in tariffs, which we haven't. But the stock market has lost $5 trillion.
So where's that money coming?
Right. So the billions with a B do not offset the trillions of dollars that have been lost in the last couple months thanks to Donald Trump's tariff policy and the instability that he's creating. All him, bro. But they want to blame it on Biden still. Eventually, that's going to get old. Like, how long, MAGA, are you going to blame Joe Biden? Really? It's been, what, 2 months now? Almost 3? Are we going to just continue this? No, it's been about 2 months now. But are we just going to keep blaming Biden for the entire term? Or what?
This is interesting. Someone on Instagram again, Cuban boxer Dad Fernandez. I'm going to assume, as far as I could say, I'm not going to say this is 100% accurate. I don't know, but I'm going to look it up. It's interesting. Voice of America was established in 1942 during World War II, building on American use of shortwave radio during the war. It initially served as an anti-propaganda tool against the Axis. Oh, the irony.
That is ironic.
That's interesting.
Good. Yeah, definitely look into that. That is interesting. So, okay, more into the weird stuff. There is, I think, a lot of people think, not just us, but we think they're hiding.
Everybody thinks. Everybody's saying.
Right. Everybody. They're hiding some serious health issues with Donald Trump. We saw the bruises on the hands. I mean, him golfing, he can barely bend over to pick up a golf ball. But then he goes to the Kennedy Center because he's now the chairman or whatever. You know, the parallel of this, I have to just point out, because Adolf Hitler was an artist, an aspiring artist. And when everybody told him his art was shit, he ended up just taking over.
Women are too emotional.
But then he went around and destroyed any art that he felt was, I guess, that back they woke. We'll use that term because that's what they're using now. He did millions of pieces of art destroyed by the Nazis because they didn't like what it depicted. So Adolf Hitler personally was like the curator for German art. And now Donald Trump wants to do the same exact thing.
Trump is going to set the standard for what is American art, patriotic art.
He did say that the Kennedy Center is too woke. He did actually say that. But here's him doing this really weird photo op in front of an empty room. Because let's be honest, if Donald Trump walked into the Kennedy Center during some kind of performance or whatever they do there, he would get booed. Just like J.D. Vance got booed. That actually did happen. But here's him giving this weird photo op elevated above everybody else, like a weirdo dictator wannabe. And then they sit around like this round table, and Donald Trump starts talking, and it's so bad. Keep in mind, he's at the Kennedy Art Center, and then he's talking about tariffs. It gets so bad that they actually cut the audio. They cut the audio and tell the cameras to get out.
Like, people, you got to understand, his brain is mush. He's not smart. He can't remember anything. So he just goes on the same talking point merry-go-round.
Over and over again.
That's
it's relentless. But that's how propaganda works. And unfortunately, Donald Trump is good at repeating himself. You got to say it over and over again until people believe it, even if it's not true. So here's a video at the Kennedy Center. And then we'll have a video from just today where he is... It's funny. I'll explain.
So you want a little picture like this? Perfect. Go ahead. Are you guys ready? Come on. We're good, sir.
Sir, if you want to speak to us later, too, when we're closer, that would be great.
A lot of money. As you know, we put down some early tariffs on people and countries that were not treating us well. And that's both.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know all of what Donald Trump was saying, but it was bad enough where they cut the whole feed.
So the whole point of this filming, the whole point that camera is there is because Trump was at the Kennedy Center. So why in the middle of him talking would you purposely cut the audio and cut away? By the way, if the cameraman would just fucked up, the camera would have spun and you would have heard the audio. But someone in that control room went and cut the audio and then spun the camera.
All right, so the last video I have, and then we'll get out of here, is this one made me laugh. This was today. I was watching this live right before the show, where Donald Trump, and I don't know where this is. I didn't say it in the description, but he's describing a trip he went to Iraq once. Okay, so he went to Iraq, and the plane was very dark, and all the windows were down, and he explained how he likes to sit with the pilots in the cockpit like a little child. I just see him in a little jumpsuit, like, wee! So anyway, all right, so he goes into detail about a plane landing. He's like, all right, we're coming in, and it's dark, and we're at 1,000 feet, and then we're at 900 feet, and he goes all the way down, and then we land, and it's perfect. And he keeps talking about how handsome these men are. Like, can we address the amount of homoeroticism that revolves around the drummer? GoPro camera, Elon's gotta be dead. Yeah, exactly. But this is him. He of course he's joking, but I honestly think he thinks this is serious. He's like, I asked him, should I have gotten a Medal of Honor for landing in that plane because I was so brave?
Oh, brave little man.
Swear to God, he says I should get a Medal of Honor because I sat in the cockpit while a plane landed. But here's a minute-long rant of him saying absolutely nothing.
We apologize, but just watch.
It's just, I just get a kick out of it. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, there's
Elon.
Elon.
Said, I don't think so, sir. I said, well, I felt I was extremely brave. But now here's the problem with saying a story like that when you're a kid. The press will say, President Donald Trump wanted to give himself the Congressional Medal of Honor. Headlines, headlines all over, the fake news. We call it the fake news, but we're all wise to them.
Who's we?
But it was something, and then I went down, and it was the same thing. I'm standing on the top, and
he's literally talking about exiting a plane.
Everybody's like from a movie set. Good-looking guys. I get down the stairs, and
good-looking guys.
What's your name?
Not good-looking women. That's
my name is Kane, sir. What's your first name? They call me Raisin. I say, wait a minute, your name is Raisin Kane? I love you. I've been looking for you for 5 years. You are the great. This is what I want. And there was a general next to him. There was a colonel. There was a drill sergeant, a master sergeant. They were all like people. I could make a movie right now. I'd have the best-looking people ever.
Yeah, that's Donald Trump explaining how he got off of an airplane. I swear to God, that's exactly what he's talking about. Getting off of an airplane and meeting good-looking men. You can't make this shit up, bro. They were so good-looking. They were like Tom Cruise, but even better looking. I swear.
Uniforms on. There's nothing better than a man in uniform. You know you're really gonna get top service when there's a man in uniform.
How is this reality right now? I can't believe that this is what we have to live through, but...
Dude...
It's funny to laugh at.
I love that you are here. I am a lifelong Doctor Who fan, fourth Doctor, Tom Baker forever. The fact that you're like, this is embarrassing, I'm wondering, are you embarrassed in the UK as a human for that? Or are you just embarrassed for us?
Because we get secondhand embarrassment in the United States.
Every time he says something that bad, I get a shiver. I'll be at work. And I'm
know.
Like, Trump did
I
something.
know, like Trump will say something, and I'll be in public going, God damn it. This dude, man, I'm telling you. Okay, good news, though, is their plan is failing. They are going to cause a lot of chaos. They are going to do a lot of damage. Do not be afraid of these people. They are mostly bark, not a lot of bite, okay? People probably will get arrested unlawfully. They're going to walk into just a shitload of civil rights lawsuits. The government's going to be paying out reparations to people that were negatively affected by Donald Trump, for crying out loud. It's so bad. Oh my God, I can't stand these people. I can't stand it. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with. We'll talk more about Donald Trump's attempt to resegregate America on the next episode, which I can't believe that's a real thing.
Like a hyperbole that just happened today. That now federal contractors are allowed to segregate workplaces.
Yep.
Like
we called
not a
it.
joke.
No.
That happened.
No, we called it again. I hate to say it, but we did. Just you can see between the lines if you look close enough. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. I know it was a lot of serious stuff, but we try and bring a little bit of dark humor into the mix just to make it a little more entertaining. If you enjoyed the episode, please share it on other platforms. It helps us with the algorithm. Leave a like, comment. If you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? It's free. And again, if you'd like to donate, we do have a GoFundMe link in the description of the video. We are trying to get like actual studio equipment, like legitimate stuff. Like we even trying to go as far as getting editing teams and stuff like that together.
We would love to do that. Man, let me tell you, would we love to do that. But also we are like thirsting to go to another protest. Like
I forgot to tell you, Tom, Combat Vets Against Trump is organizing a protest in D.C. at the end of April. So if I can raise enough money for that, I definitely want to go to it.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Please send us down there. Like, again, we're not going to go down there and do touristy shit. We're not going to go down there and drink at old bars, although that's a bucket list of mine. But the point is, we really want to not just be in it ourselves and experience it. We got a lot of good feedback from when we did the other protest about being able to show people something that they could not get to. It's expensive traveling. Not everything is narrow. Not everyone feels safe. Not everyone wants to be out in public. It's all valid reasons. So if we can provide that view for people, please help us, because we would love to do that for everyone.
Definitely.
Really, it was awesome.
We want to be boots on the ground and on the front lines of this. We understand the consequences and we understand what the possible repercussions are. And I'm all in. I don't care. Like I said before in previous episodes, we're all about to suffer at the hands of the Trump administration. So my question to all of you is, do you want to suffer on your terms or you want to suffer on their terms? And I choose to suffer on my own terms. So yeah, Love you guys. Thank you for all the support. We'll be back on Sunday with another episode, and we hope to see you there. Have a good rest of your evening, and